Hey guys, Wolvie here with a video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global for the 27th of August 2020. This is going to be part 2 of 2 pertaining the new information for the game, and more specifically the global side. So with that, this is going to be a longer video because there's quite a bit to go over here. And this does include the addressing the emergency maintenance that went on last night. So with that bit out of the way, and yet any opinions in this video are my opinion and my opinion only. And I will also have the Dissidia database website link in the description below. So with that, we're just going to jump straight into it. And I also want to show off something a little bit pertaining to the new feature, aka Abyss Normalis. So with that, we're going to go into the unknown issues. So there's going to be some information in yellow that is like new in sense of the issue. Now one of them is, the RNA image and turn order. You actually have to switch, so that should be fixed in a later update, alongside the information here in yellow. So with that, we're going to go into the, regarding the network error. Again, this is yesterday, so, and the thing here is this is Square Enix Bridge server, which is pretty much DFFOO JP, DFFOO Global, and very other games, both JP and Global, which includes Final Fantasy Break Exvius, War of the Visions. So it says here, from Wednesday 26th of August, 1930 UTC to 27th of August at 10:20 UTC, a Square Enix Bridge network error occurred, causing players to be unable to enter the game. As a result, an emergency maintenance was carried out during the following period, so it's 23:55 to 11:40 UTC, so we do know that this very much happened. And it says here, we apologize for the inconvenience caused, and the following items will be distributed as a token of appreciation to all players for your patience with us. 300 gems, 63 relics of all knowledge. All active Moogle passes have been extended by 1 day. Details on the extension of limited time events and additional compensation will be released at a later date. We thank you for your patience and understanding and hope that you continue enjoying playing DFFOO. I will have something to say on this much later. Before we get into the opinions on that, we're just going to jump in straight into some of the other good stuff here. Is that one of them is going to be Enhanced Campaign. So, it says here, a new Enhanced Campaign is underway. Strengthen your characters in preparation for Abyss Perfectum, with additionally daily mission rewards, all that good stuff. And it looks like a northern tours into the... Okay. So we're going to just jump... We're just going to see what's going on here with the World of Illusions Carpulc's Treasures. So that's it on that. So you get all this good stuff here. So this is pretty much, what's going to go on, it repeats, once. So that's it on that. We have here the Radiant Artifact tokens. This is going to be a double drop. We have here this. And this is pretty much how you defeat the magic pot. So it tells you what to do in order to win. And gets it. So we have here now the Abyss Perfectum Stratum 1. Now this is something I should have looked into from the gate, but I'm an idiot. So we have here all this good stuff. So you have to achieve Perfectum on all of a stratum, or some stratums, yeah. Pretty much have to perfect all of this to basically move on. Now it says here that it is permanently available. There's a limited time aspect. It was with EX power tokens. And draw tickets as limited time rewards until the 1st of October at 1:59 UTC. So you have here all this stuff. So it says here in the fine print, you do not need to complete Abyss Normalis in order to attempt Abyss Perfectum. Now tap the button below for information and codes, all that good stuff. So it's the same thing from before. You can't use a support unit. Nobody is boosted. Then you have your codes, all that good stuff. Now it says here, when it comes down to the effects, restrict which characters you may use. It's all this stuff right here.
Yes.
And this is the limited time event mission details. So, you notice here I'm not really saying much, but hey. So basically, it does appear that there are chaos difficulty quests here, so yeah, this might be one of those that's meant for completionists. So with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into the gem sales where you see here. You have the 7-day gem sale, which is standard. You have the return of the alternate costumes for Locke and Vaan, and the debut of the alternate costume for Gabranth. So, and the outside of that, it's basically, depending on what your finances is, if you're free to play, I would say skip. But if you are pay to play, hey, you might want to check one of these out on your own. And with the 7-day gem sale, let me see if I can grab it really quickly. So it's pretty much your standard operating procedures there. So, with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into the banners information itself. So we have here the banner for the Gabranth, and believe it or not, Gabranth makes his global debut with just his 1535 AEX, because both of the banners for Act 2, Chapter 10 will have the LD and burst weapons for Vaan from Final Fantasy 12. So there are no reworks here. I do personally feel that Vaan will get the Squall Treatment when it comes to the eventual 8080 Awakening, where the second rework is tied to that, the 8080 Awakening. So we have here Vaan. This is the burst weapon. The thing is with the burst weapon, you do need to keep in mind with Vaan is that, granted, it deals a lot of damage, but it's only at a single target. So this is it right here, the information you see here, and this is the Vaan's LD weapon. This is one of those where he desperately needs this LD weapon because it helps with skill uses, all that stuff, if that makes any sense. So that's that on that. So I'm most likely will be skipping this because honestly I don't get a banner here. Again, this is Vaan, with his LD and burst. You also have the 1535 and EX weapons for Lena, Waka, and Locke. Now this is for other characters, but that is to the eyes of some. In story where it's like you have that little icon, but you have multiple stages with it. You won't find that in Act 2, Chapter 10. That's the only thing I'm going to say there, as a spoiler. Now, we're going to go into, we're not going to go into the challenge quest, all that stuff, but it's a little bit more tricky, due to the roster available. So, okay, so it says here, okay, Okay, so 5 nuggets for the blue, the 5 blue nuggets, so to speak. To make the blue ingot, this is limited time. I'm like, yeah. So this is Gabranth, and this is his skill. Skill 1 is just Circle of Judgment. Skill 2 is Guilt. So it says stuff right here. And now you see here is that this is his additional ability, Protect All. And now we're going to just jump right back into the banner here where Gabranth is a part of, because we're going to go into, take a quick look at the EX ability that he has. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. So this is what happens here. So basically with Gabranth's EX ability, you kind of think of certain units where you hit everybody, you hit one, yeah, it's basically this stuff here. And this is the post-realization info. Okay, so basically, this banner is actually not too bad to pull on if you're going after certain characters, but really skipping this for right now. It really will depend on the type of resources I will get, before the banner is over with. So with that, we're going to get into information pertaining to Act 2, Chapter 10. So this thing comes up. So we're just going to skip right down here. That's the challenge quest right there.
Yes.
And we got here the boss details. We got these three right here. The wave 1, this is Giza Maluk. And the thing here is that when it comes to them, you do not want to bring units like Rydia or Ferris along. And wave 2 will be Weird Tiger. So again, you might want to avoid bringing Ferris along. Because, yeah. Now we do have Cosmos, so you have to do the first set in order to access the second. This is the artifact, artifact missions. So we have here the refined sphere details for those. That's current synergy. Now you notice here you have to do a pause the video to take a screenshot just to zoom in on these, because you notice here that these are what the refined spheres look like. They are not as potent as your regular spheres, so that's that on that. And you also want to be extremely careful with the spheres you want to refine. And this is the co-op exchange right here, so everything you see, some of the numbers you see here are limited. And I would say, just go after the limited time aspects first. Then anything you have extras later, then go after it then. So with that, like I said, when it comes down to Abyss Perfectum, there is some stuff, they mentioned here. We're just gonna go into it, and we may do a couple fights here and there, but you'll see what I mean. Nevertheless, now we're going to go into the dialogue here, because it is important to know what's going on. So we're gonna okay. So this is okay. So it looks like my auto is turned off. So. So this is some stuff you want to know here, that way you don't freak out. So basically this particular piece of information you see here, but that's not all. The energies can also prevent allies who've completed one battle from joining in another. So you have to think about the Dimensions End section of the game where it's like, once you perfected it with somebody, you can't use it in the next, so to speak. So that's not on that. So, here is what I'm going to be doing. So, at this point, I will be sounding off on the compensation that DFFOO got for the maintenance. So, this is just round 1 of the compensation. There is round 2 coming. We just don't know exactly when they'll be. Before I get into that, the stream rewards came along. The 3,000 gems, the 3 reset stones, the 1 power stone, the 20 draw tickets, and the 10 armor tokens. So we got that. So what do I think about the compensation? Because a lot of people were like, it's a little bit more mixed than in the past. Because 63 relics of all knowledge, I was actually scratching my head at that one. I mean, why give out something that's kind of common? And something that you can easily obtain in the item shop. I just don't understand that aspect. And 300 gems, I mean, again, some people were kind of disappointed in that too because it's considered cheap. Now, in all fairness, I will say though, when it comes down to, the type of product, if things were done on cheap, the result is cheap. And that is on some occasions, but not all. I mean, personally, I would have felt a little more at ease if it were the artifacts of all knowledge instead of relics, because why give out something that's so common? But, I'm not the part of the development team, so I really have no say in that. Now, the gems, I am very torn about the matter, and to be honest here, is because, granted, you're talking about a lengthier period of time where the game could not be played due to the server that the game is tied into. And I was doing a little research on Reddit regarding the matter, and I will try my best to have the link to a particular comment I spotted in the description below, so that way you guys can understand where I'm coming from here. Is that it looks like in the comment I remember reading was it looked like some hardware it was like something within the hardware of the servers. And the thing is, I do have to reveal a little bit about my line of work. For the office I work in within the company I work for, which is UPS, my office actually is holding, quote unquote, a bunch of servers that are tied to the entire location of where I work at. Now, when it comes down to the servers, they gotta be kept within a certain temperature. And the temperature for my location in the office that I'm in, it's gotta be no higher than 74 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 23 degrees Celsius. If it goes above those numbers, you are running a real risk of the servers not being of proper use in the sense of it working as intended. Now, I do fear that the possible hardware issue, unfortunately, is a result of somebody not keeping the servers at a proper temperature. And due to this negligence of sorts, in the eyes of some, this could have been prevented. However, you're talking about an ongoing pandemic that's happening globally, so we really don't know the whole gist of the situation there. But alas, I felt that they could have been a little bit more generous instead of using relics of all knowledge, maybe artifacts of all knowledge, something that's harder to get in the game. Now, I do like that there is going to be another round of compensation coming up alongside the extension of limited time events. It's a bit of a wait and see before I give a full verdict on this. But so far, I do feel this is a bit disappointing. Because something like this is very rare to happen to DFFOO. but it's also not the first time that a major issue like this has affected varying Square Enix mobile games and those that are mobile gacha games. And the reason why I do feel this way, and where I'm going to go with that is that, in all honesty, I just don't really see why they felt that the compensation would be just 300 gems and 60-something relics of all knowledge. It's something I don't really get. But I'm not going to complain about it at the same time because compensation is compensation and I'll take it. But you're talking about a company where issues like this has happened before and to other mobile gacha games. And I remember with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius in the first half, they were quite generous. I mean, you're talking some stuff here and there. I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. And this is where, instead of the first round of compensation, I do feel that DFFOO fell flat. And for people to continue to promote this as free-to-play friendly, you're talking about the technological side that doesn't make it as such. And this is proof positive in my opinion that, yeah, they could have done a little bit better. But I will hold off on that entirely until the second round of compensation shows up. And for people who are white knighting DFFOO, this might not be a bad time to, start giving criticism where it's warranted. Because white knighting, blindly defending DFFOO like this may have you looking really bad. And for myself, knowing Square Enix's recent history in recent years, for me it's just like, I give praise where it's due, but I will also give constructive feedback where it's warranted. And sadly, this is one of those times where the constructive criticism is warranted. They could have been a little bit more generous here. So, with that out of the way, what are my overall thoughts and opinions on everything here? I'm not surprised that Abyss Perfectum is going along the route of the Dimension's End, whereas Order, Pathos, and Entropy, you use a certain team, you can't use them elsewhere. I like that little twist. But, it's just, I'm not part of the development team. So, for me, it's just something I had to take on and accept. Now, with the abundance of the bundles, I won't be surprised if this is trying to say, hey, we need money to fix our service. I won't be surprised if it's applied to that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get going for right now because I am waiting for some varying text messages and emails to show up. And it is related to the move, so I do have to get going. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.